Hey everybody, it's TR. Let me shut this off. Got a couple things we're going to talk about today. Number one, the reason why if you followed the title and came here is how to fix a nut slot that's cut too deep. Because this guitar I got used, and it was a great guitar and I got a great deal on it, $350 at Guitar Center. It's a Jackson, made in Indonesia. Obviously it's a Rhodes model. It's one with the neck through. What did they call these? The I think X series maybe. They're not the super cheap ones. They're not the super good ones. They're like the in-betweeners. This is like probably a $700-800 guitar new. Maybe $9 now. I don't know. They keep going up. So it had, somebody had put a real Seymour Duncan pickup in here. And I looked on the inside, and there's Emerson capacitor and some CTS pots. So score. Tuners that were on it were kind of okay. They were good. They were fine. But for whatever reason, I put some Godos on, and this cheaper Jackson over here ended up inheriting these tuners. Why I didn't just do it the other way around, I don't know. I think I liked the littler buttons on this particular guitar. I think they went better with it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyhow, I know, the nut. We're going to get to the nut. The other thing is about this guitar is I noticed there's been more than one person recently searching for tone that got one of those Leo James Swifter guitars, V guitars. To save money, they put the jack in a bad place, a lot of these cheaper guitars. They will put jack here because it's close to the control panel. And then when you go to hold it like this, it's sticking right in your leg. I don't know, can you see where it is on this? It's like a Fender dish type jack. It's up in here and it's aimed so that your cord goes away from you. And you can put it right in there and it works. So, back to the point of the video, nut slots. Let's talk nut slots. Okay. Being a used guitar, it played great, but when I got checking it out, the nut action was a little bit too low. So somebody had probably cut them lower. I don't know, maybe they came that way. Normally what I would do is just throw another nut in. But it involves a little gluing when you have one of these slanted headstocks like this, because a regular guitar, Strat style, even a Gibson style, the string tension will hold a nut where it probably should be. This one, it's going to want to shoot it out the side, so you got to glue it in pretty decently. That's one thing. I have done that before. That might not have deterred me, but there's binding on this. The nut is involved in the binding, and I don't know if the nut is cut to go around the binding or if there's just some white on the nut or what they did. But the nut's wrapped up in with the binding. So it's like, I really don't want to put a new nut on it. It was playable. But a couple of the strings, okay, there's the trick. Between the second and third fret, you push your finger down, and then you touch up and down between the first and second fret to see how much clearance you have over that first fret. There should be ever so slightly, just a hair. I had a couple of them that were actually touching. Another test is fret a note. Check the action on the next fret. Now compare that to your nut action. The nut action ideally should be the same. Usually you want it a little higher, ideally the same. Speaking of ideally the same, I'll reference one of my Gibson Les Pauls that's been plucked. The nut action and the fretted action are identical up and down the board because the machine did it. So ideally the same. But anyways, I had a couple of strings that the nut action was actually lower than the fretted action, and you're risking buzz on open strings when you do that. So there's a trick you can do with cyanoacrylate glue, super glue, crazy glue, super glue, and baking soda, and you can fill your nut slot and refile it, and that's what I did. Some places say it's stopgap, but I think those are probably places that StewMac want to sell you a new nut, but they do show you the trick. Actually, I think it was Dan Earlywine that has video demonstrating this. I'm going to do a quick half-ass demonstration for you when I'm done talking with an old beat-up guitar neck I have that I have saved on purpose for demonstration purposes. But anyways, I fixed it so that it plays better now. I don't play this a lot because it is awkward and you bang it on things. And by the way, if you want your guitar to be pretty and look great, don't get one of these because you're gonna F this thing up with the way it sticks out and everything. What a design, huh?